Hello, you beautiful individuals. Today we are back looking at Kent Hovind and his worst debate moments. This is actually a video put together by Atheist Junior. He makes an awesome, just slew of content, usually against, misinformation, more specifically creationists, and he's debated Kent Hovind. Poof, I don't know how many times, but I've seen a few of them, so definitely a few at least. No, I don't know how many times exactly, but he does. He's hilarious in everything he does. So major shout out to Atheist Junior, and all the work that he does. So yeah, go check out his channel. His link will be down in the description. And yeah, we're just gonna jump right into it. I just kind of wanted to check out some of Kent Hovind's worst debate moments. Honestly, just because it's kind of hard to find newer Hovind videos, at least on YouTube. I don't know if he posts on another platform. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, I guess, but I don't know. A lot of his videos have just been, that I've seen lately, just been recycled. So I figured, why not check this out? Actually, I wanted to do like a, my own review of one of his debates, or maybe a few different ones kind of like this, but I don't know. I just haven't really decided or, watched enough yet to put anything together. But it would be kind of cool to, put something where it's, maybe some of AJ's debates here, and Professor Dave had that debate with him, which that was hilarious. And then obviously there's been a lot of other people, Guts at Gibbon, and just countless other people that's debated him, because it's pretty much all Hovind does is debate people and say the same things over and over again. Aaron Raw, obviously he's right there on the screen. But anyway, let's jump right into Kent Hovind's worst debate moments.
Different animals.
Listen to him.
There's a lot more to it than that. I give 6 definitions.
Did he just tell us to listen to himself? Man, that's some Hovinception right there. And just, I don't know, a little arrogant, I guess. It's just weird. Oh, hey, listen to him, listen to me. Whatever.
And you're going to show it in a minute. And my 6 divisions of that slippery word evolution are correct.
No, they never were.
Yes, they really are.
No, they're really not. Okay, sorry, I couldn't resist. But no, seriously, they're not. I mean, your 6, and honestly, anything that you say is incorrect, but especially your quote-unquote 6 definitions of evolution.
This is the only textbook I have that was published within the last 10 years, but it's also the 11th edition.
Okay. What edition is this one here, Steve? 2017. What edition is this one? 11th edition, they're calling it. 2017, though. Must have just changed the copyright. And I just showed you, they do teach Origin of Life in there.
So I don't know, obviously this just started at this point, so I don't know really what he was referencing before this, but I mean, why wouldn't they teach Origin of Life? It was a biology textbook, right? Did I not see that correctly? Hold on. Yeah, the biology textbook. What do you mean? Why wouldn't they teach Origin of Life, or at least, what we know about it thus far? And again, he always does. He likes to combine everything. And I mean, yes, technically, the Origin of Life, I mean, that does, I guess, tie into evolution in a sense. I mean, it's the origin of life, the start of it on this planet. But again, it's not exactly the same thing. I mean, evolution is just how that life evolved after it originated. I don't know. Well, that's weird. But anyway, I wish I knew what he said before this, so I could better understand his point he's trying to make.
6 meanings to the word evolution, or 6 stages or levels to the word evolution. Stop trying to hide.
I don't remember all of his 6 stages. There's the macro and micro thing, and he believes in microevolution but not macroevolution, which is ignorant itself. And I think he throws cosmic evolution in there, and just, I don't know, a bunch of nonsense.
All my other textbooks are older than that. This one, on the evolutionary process, is from 1991, yet it doesn't include any mention of planet formation or cosmogony either.
Well, you found a book that doesn't have it. That may be. I could find thousands of books that don't have it. What does that prove? It is in hundreds and it is in thousands of biology books or science books as part of the theory of evolution.
Instead, it adheres to the same definition as the other three books, which follow Darwin's original explanation, although enhanced and improved by 160 years of further research. I bought this textbook when I took a full semester course on evolution.
You should get your money back. You wasted money learning something extremely stupid.
What do you mean he wasted? Bro, I don't know what money you did or didn't spend on it, but you have like 3 fake degrees and doctorates or whatever from literal diploma mills from schools that aren't schools. I mean, how did he waste his money? And do you hear him speak? Like Aaron Raw sounds properly intelligent when he speaks. He clearly not only knows what he's talking about, but can convey it and in an intelligent and coherent manner that pretty much anyone can understand. I mean, he is, I don't know. I love watching Aaron Raw's stuff. I mean, it's just how he explains things. I don't know. He just has that something in his voice that gives you the confidence that not only knows what he's talking about, but the things that he says clearly shows he knows what he's talking about. Unlike myself, of course, because I'm an idiot, and Hovind, because he also falls in that idiot category just a bit further down.
There are people that spend years studying Buddhism, and when they're done, they know all about Buddhism. They have a head full of useless mush.
How are you going to attack another religious belief or spiritual belief, whatever you want to call it? Like, what? See, man, that's like the definition of the pot calling the kettle black there, man. What do you mean? Oh my, that has to be one of the most ignorant things I've ever heard Hovind say. Wow. That was a solid choice. I mean, having this clip in here just for that statement alone. Good job, AJ.
That's what you've got here. A head full of knowledge that is completely useless and not true. I'm sorry about that. But hey, I'm a teacher. I'll help you. First I'll get you unbrainwashed, then I'll teach you the truth. Follow me.
Ironic. You claiming you're going to get people unbrainwashed. I mean, you literally, that's your whole thing, is brainwashing people to join your weird cult thing down there in, I think it's Alabama or something, your Dino Land nonsense. Brainwashing is like, that's your whole shtick, and obviously lying and conning people, but it just goes along with the brainwashing.
Lead the way. You're the sun god. You want people to follow the sun? No, follow me on this one. I got you, Mr. Nelson. I'll be your friend. Okay.
That's 15 weeks wherein nobody brought up any of those unrelated theories in your list.
You know, I took WSI, Water Safety Instructor. I became a lifeguard, and then took the next classes to become WSI, Water Safety Instructor, where you can teach lifeguards to be lifeguards. They never talked about evolution in that class either.
Oh my God, this is the most pathetic thing he always does. It's not just about evolution. I mean, it's about his analogies. They not only don't make sense, but they are just so ignorant. You didn't get taught evolution in your lifeguard course that honestly I doubt you even took. Probably just another thing you got from a fake religious school or whatever. Oh my God.
We just learned how to swim. I bet there's lots of classes that don't discuss evolution. I bet if you took a baking class, culinary arts, they wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, thanks, Copernicus.
What kind of argument is this?
Well, what kind of argument are you making? What do you mean, what kind of argument is that? Does he never listen to himself or go back and think what he just said?
Only talked about the last two on your list, which are both the same theory.
The last two, macroevolution, microevolution, both the same theory? You're dreaming, sir.
Well, they are, in a way. I mean, I get you like to try to split them, but essentially the Macro is, what you consider, what everyone else thinks evolution is, and then your microevolution is like evolution on a really small scale. It's dumb. It is the same thing. You're just nitpicking and trying to split certain, parts of it to better fit your weird young Earth creationist narrative.
Your scientific creationism really isn't scientific.
Well, neither is evolution. You mentioned in the letter that you
We're
faxed
talking
in.
about evolution here. We're talking about you. We'll get back to evolution in a second.
No, no.
I don't know who he's talking to, but that person's awesome. Just immediately, like, just boom, called him on his bullcrap and trying to keep him on track. I like that.
I agree.
What you're saying is that scientific creationism is not scientific.
I agree. There's no possible way to prove it scientifically.
Why do you guys keep trying to get it taught in the public school science classes? If it's not science, it shouldn't be taught.
Well, see, that's to prove the point. Evolution isn't science either, and it shouldn't be
Now
taught.
let's talk about whether
It absolutely is science. There's evidence in mountains of research, thousands of scientists over a century and a half or so of, proper dedicated research into this field. Like, oh man, your young Earth nonsense has zero evidence and just no substantial basis to it at all. It's just you going, oh, I don't agree with pretty much every scientist in the world, and I believe this book full of fairy tales. Therefore, Earth young, science wrong. Me so smart. I mean, it's ignorant.
evolution is scientific. First of all, you have an exceedingly narrow definition of what science is. If we had to refer to things scientific as only those which were directly testable, directly observable, we'd have a pretty short list of sciences that we could talk about.
See, and that's a wonderful point. Like his whole thing with science, not his whole thing, but a big part of his crap with science is if it's not observable or wasn't observed by a human being, like, therefore it's not science. It's not real. Like, that's not how science works at all. And there's so many things that we can't physically observe, either because it happened in the past or it's just something we genuinely can't see, or can't physically look at. But it doesn't mean it's not real. Doesn't mean it's not here. This dude.
For example, particle physics. Nobody has seen an atom. Nobody can observe the particles that are smashing into each other in an atom smasher.
Oh, I agree. Sure.
So
Obviously, this is older, but I mean, we have seen that now, right? Like, don't we have maybe not. I feel like we have. I could definitely be wrong. Somebody correct me or tell me the right answer if I am wrong. I feel like that we have seen that now, though. I don't know. Anyway, still a good point regardless.
So therefore, particle physics is not science.
No, there is a lot of theory in particle physics. An awful lot of theory.
But hey, but it's not science because you can't directly observe it.
Well, my point in this is that, and it's very difficult to get an evolutionist to admit this, what they have is exactly the same as what a creationist has. They have a strong belief in something that is not observable, testable, or demonstratable. Both are fundamentally religions. And yet,
No. I mean, for one, just no, because evolution doesn't have a moral code or some kind of hierarchy or anything that a religion has. But more importantly, no, because there is evidence that you can test, and there is, oh my God, there's things you can observe. Like, in religion, there's just not. It's a book or books, multiple, and just a belief in some supernatural deity. Like, that's not the same thing at all. Like, evolution, science in general, doesn't need magic to work, but your religion does.
Now you're saying saying that unless it's directly observable, it's not scientific. So, but I think that you'll probably agree that particle physics is a science. So there must be some kinds of sciences in which direct observation is not completely relevant.
Okay, yes, and I would say creation would fall into that category. Creation is a scientific theory that is not directly testable. I mean, we weren't here when God created the world.
Well,
But
I don't know.
is...
I can think of some ways to test young Earth creationism.
Okay, let's hear one.
Well, you should be doing this job because one of the things that a real scientist does is come up with ways that his theory or explanation could possibly be refuted.
Yeah, that's a very wonderful point. He just, instead of attacking all these other sciences, do or come up with something, anything that not necessarily proves, but at least provides some form of evidence to this nonsense you believe, but you don't. And more importantly, the main difference, I mean, science, if it's wrong or doesn't have the whole picture, they just say, oh, we don't know, or oh, this was wrong, but we figured out a better way, or we're working on figuring out a better way, instead of just just blindly adhering to this singular belief that honestly only changes if you need it to, based on where society is at, or what you need it to say, or whatever, or or what you're using it for to lie to people with. I mean, it's not something that actually changes.
That the whole Grand Canyon could be laid down by water.
Well, no, wait. Now, you would have to agree, I'm sure, if you studied your geology, that all of the layers of strata in the geologic column in the Grand Canyon are sedimentary rock, which means they were indeed laid down by water.
Nope, some of them were laid down by air.
Volcanic,
some
yeah. Windblown.
Are aeolian deposits, which is pretty tough for you guys to handle when it...
No. You mean talk about windblown ash and stuff? Sure, that happens. I think in the flood, there was a catastrophe, disaster, volcanoes going off, there was ash layers. The trees...
It's pretty crazy because you got the flood going over, depositing a water layer, and then you have the flood waters going someplace, an ash layer being deposited, then the flood water coming back and depositing water layer. This whole thing is just really silly.
I don't know, man. I don't know who that was he was talking to, but amazing. Like, I want to have a conversation with him. I mean, she was awesome, and just that was great. I really liked that one.
Believe there's evidence that man was created from mud?
No, I think we're made out of natural elements. I think you could find all the elements for man's body in the mud.
So you're interpreting that part allegorically because it doesn't suit your narrative.
I'm saying there is a narrative. There's a book that says God did it. I don't know of a better answer, but...
Sure.
Of course you don't, because you don't try to find a better answer, because there is no better answer. There's no answer, really, when it comes to your nonsense book. But more importantly, that what he was getting at there, I don't know what his name was, but, this gentleman right here, is that you nitpick and twist and interpret in ways however you need it to fit this nonsense narrative that you have.
And you're interpreting part of it literally and part of it allegorically to fix whatever gaps you have in your understanding.
Well, no, you guys are one of the ones with all the gaps in the understanding. We observe cows produce cows, dogs.
Oh my God, all that, of course. He still spews that. Cows produce cows, dogs produce dogs. Even though evolution doesn't say that it it doesn't say that cows would produce anything other than cows, but whatever. And more importantly, he's not wrong in the sense, because there are gaps in our understanding to evolution. We don't technically have, every in-between species for every animal and plant life on Earth, but the difference is, like, we keep finding them, and we'll continue to find more as the science progresses. And science doesn't claim to have every single answer to every single question. It's about finding those answers, and about being able to admit you don't know everything. And religion, I mean, anytime they don't, it's just, well, God did it. Magic. Fairy dust. Woohoo.
That's okay. It's okay to have gaps, Kent.
Well, then call it, then stop saying you accept it. Admit you believe it. It's a belief. It's a religion on your part.
Okay, I believe it, but I have justification for my belief.
Exactly. not only justification, but you have evidence, and just
Justification for my belief. Nobody's ever seen a cow produce a non-cow.
but nobody ever says that's how it's supposed to work. You're just too ignorant to understand. Well, really, I mean, let's be honest. He probably does understand that. You just like to use this to lie and con people and keep making your money. So yeah.
Therefore, somebody must have made the original cow.
You do have justification for your own belief, but
And that's just the thing. Somebody should have made the original cow. Okay. And again, that just goes back to this thing that, like, so God made all these animals, every life form that's ever lived, and they all lived at once, and apparently they were all on a boat. Even, I mean, none of that makes any sense, like, at all. But I don't know. But yet somehow things evolving and over a long period of time, that's the crazy theory. Yeah, it's like, and all that took place in the span of whatever he says, 6,000 years or something. Well, not even that long, honestly, because Noah's flood, apparently, according to him, was about 4,000, 4,500 years ago. So all those animals lived in the span of about 1,500, 2,000 years. Okay, sure.
your belief itself does not have justification to be believed by anybody who would, other than people who would just accept it on faith.
Well, I think you need to look in the mirror. Jim, you're the one who has.
Yeah, couldn't just struggling with that one there, huh? But no, I mean, it's like you have to have faith for your belief. Science doesn't need faith. Science has actual evidence and theories, experiments, tests, everything that makes it science. You just don't like to accept that, except for when the science helps you. I mean, you know, none of this computer here, none of that would be possible without science. The Bible didn't make this computer.
A belief that is not based on any scientific evidence. Why would the fragments of this explosion or this expansion, Big Bang, why would they accumulate into clumps like stars and galaxies? Why isn't it all just particles evenly distributed throughout all of visible space? How do we have clumps of any matter anywhere?
Gravity.
Yeah, exactly. What do you mean? Kent, I mean, Kent believes in gravity, right? Has to.
Come on, Ken. This is basic physics. Gravity.
I understand gravity, I think, is probably as well as anybody. Yes, and I'm using it right now, actually, sitting on a chair. So, yes, gravity. So these particles that are flying away from each other, assuming in a radial direction from this expansion, they're going to reaccumulate. The further you go away, the farther apart they get. But they're going to somehow find each other and pull each other together, even though they're continually expanding, getting further apart. I think it's common sense 101 to say that's not logical. The fragments should be spread everywhere.
What do you mean? Everything you believe is not logical. So I don't know why you want to bring logic into things all of a sudden. But no, it doesn't. It does absolutely make sense. What do you mean? You're acting like none of these particles could have been traveling, near each other. And what do you mean by traveling? Like, space itself, space-time was expanding. These particles were in it. And yes, they're quote-unquote traveling, but still gravity affects them. They still get attracted towards one another. And eventually, after getting big enough, they start attracting more and bending space-time even more. And this is, I mean, I wouldn't say it's basic, but it's like, this is pretty well understood, regardless of, how everything exactly happened. It's definitely better than all of a sudden, boom, everything was made. And, as some claim, it was made with age built in, or whatever nonsense.
So the question
Here we
was...
go again with the common sense. Kent, they did this experiment in space. They went into the International Space Station. They took these particles, I think it was sand or dust or something along the lines of along those lines, and they shook them around, and they saw that they spontaneously accumulated, even though they were going in every direction.
Well, yeah, out in space, I agree. That's where Uranus came from. The dumping the urine overboard on the early space flights.
What? Hold on, we gotta listen to that real quick again.
Out in space, I agree. That's where Uranus came from. The dumping the urine overboard on the space early space flights. It followed the space capsule because that's the strongest, the biggest attraction and the biggest show in town was the thing right there. So yeah, that's
Okay, but the point is, even if things are moving apart,
What?
in a vacuum, the gravity is going to pull them together.
Just a reminder that Kent studied religious education and Christian education at 2 unaccredited universities.
Oh, Mr. Definitely Not a Doctor Kent Hovind's gonna get all butthurt about this one.
Whereas I did biomedical science at Warwick.
He doesn't like anyone talking about his fake degrees and doctorates.
Which, when I applied to it, was one of the top universities in the world, and I think it was like number 3 in the UK. So,
And see, that was just, he always does that. It's like, he loves to brag about his fake doctorates and degrees, but if somebody else brings up a real one from a proper university, it's just all this sarcasm and nonsense. Like, what, you're upset because they were smart enough and had dedication and drive to go get an actual degree, while you just, paid for one from a fake university or college, whatever you call it.
that's what a real university is, Kent. And I'm not saying you can't know this stuff if you haven't been to a university. I'm just saying if he's going to bring in this kind of like appeal to authority, he should at least have the authority and credentials to back it up. And he doesn't. So.
Ha 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 ha. So funny, Kent. Making fun of her accent. Wow. Like, it's one thing to make fun of somebody for messing up a word or for, like, kind of stuttering a bit. Like, sure. All right, cool. Yeah, that's funny. But, I mean, it's their accent, man. What is there even to make fun of? Sounds more intelligent than you. And it's just, I don't know. Was this, are you being brainwashed by Dr. Kent Hovind? Oh, of course. Wow. Reading your own book, huh? That's something.
Yeah, I think with this point, he's just trying to be like kind of contrary for the sake of it, and I don't really get what point he's trying to make.
He's not even making a point. He just does this to lie, con people, and make money. That's why he does it. And to, try to keep his cult together.
Now, regarding his infatuation with the term liar, I urge on you...
Man, some of this audio quality on some of these clips have been rough. I mean, obviously not AJ's fault anyway. But this one is kind of extra rough.
2 websites that you can go to if you want a deeper knowledge of this. One is...
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. We gotta skip this one. I'm sorry. Something about it. I did not like how... don't like that sound in my ear. I'm sure other people won't as well. Again, nothing against AJ here. I mean, it's just the quality of the clip. Is there no... Hovind's not even in this one. Huh. I don't really understand. Maybe this guy's just, explaining Hovind and his lies. But anyway, let's go over here. There we go.
And there's a lot of chatter about your dissertation for your PhD. Is that available? Can people get that, or is that not available?
I don't know where it's available. I have nothing to hide about it. My dissertation
Oh yeah, you have nothing to hide about it? Okay.
for my last degree is right here in my hand. It's my book I wrote, What on Earth is About to Happen. It's standard to do a dissertation for a doctor's degree.
Are you...
Well, for a real doctor's degree, but yours isn't, so I don't know why it mattered that you did one.
also saying that you have an honorary doctorate degree?
Yes, I have 4 doctor's degrees. 3 of them earned, 1 honorary.
Are
But
three
again,
of them are all 3 from Patriot?
no, 2 from Patriot. Only 2 from Patriot.
Give me a second. I want to look something up. So I wanted to try to find Hovind's dissertations, and you can't actually. It does seem like you can find them. I did see like a PDF and something else, but I didn't really care that much. I don't want to read that much about it. But then I found this site, and I just like this a lot. The Patriot University campus, a prestigious technology, advanced, fully accredited mobile home, where Mr. Kent Hovind, quote unquote, earned his quote unquote PhD. I don't know why, but I really like that. It was funny. Which is 58 felony conviction. Holy crap. I knew he got convicted of 58 of them. Goodness. I kind of read over this. There's a few interesting things. I'll link this down below as well. I like this one a lot. Just it goes by some of the quotes of his dissertations. So I don't know. It was kind of interesting. If you just type in Kent Hovind's dissertations, you can easily find this. Again, I'll link it below, and there's other stuff to see as well. Here we can just go back real quick. A couple things from Reddit, of course. This I didn't actually look at this or download it, but apparently it's a PDF of one of his dissertations. Link to his book and stuff, something on WikiLeaks. So there's a few things you can find. But either way, apparently a video too, reading his dissertation. That might be interesting to watch. But anyway. Okay, back to this.
All from Bible colleges, all from non-accredited by the secular establishment.
So what's the other?
Hey, at least he admits it. I mean, he has to add in by the secular establishment, but they're not accredited because they're not accredited. I mean, they're literally diploma mills, man. They're not accredited because it's just not real. It's just nonsense. It's for people like you to be able to get fake doctors. I mean, I could go get a fake doctor from there, but I'm not going to waste money on that, obviously.
What's the other university what's the third university then? Or what's the one besides Patriot that you earned a degree in?
Well, none of them are accredited, so don't worry about it. You wouldn't accept it even if I got one from Harvard and became a creationist. You would still think I'm crazy.
Yeah, but you can tell me what the name is.
No, the difference is, I mean, if you did get, I mean, of course you had to say Harvard, like, the one school you could probably think of. No, but at least if you went to a proper school and got a real doctorate in something, even if it was theology or whatever, at least, then you'd have, some kind of authority on the things you speak. More importantly, though, you probably wouldn't be a young earth creationist because you actually have learned something.
Right? Come on.
Well, I could tell you all kinds of things, but it wouldn't do any good.
Come on, Kent. I want to ask you. Come on, Kent. I want to ask you what that university is.
Go ahead and ask all you want. I'll publish it one of these days. It doesn't matter.
Okay, what about the honorary one? Can you tell me the university for that one?
There are all kinds of people with degrees from major universities who are young earth creationists. Watch the Expelled movie and you'll see.
But
see, and whatever, if that's true or not, but knowing him is probably not true. But again, I could easily see it being true. Somebody having an actual doctorate and then still becoming young earth creationists like that, that's not the point. They're still wrong. But my thing is, you claim that you're not embarrassed or whatever, or you have nothing to hide. But then when he asks the question, you immediately hide it. Like, why not just say it? It's something you can look up. It's not hard to find. So why not just say it if you have supposedly nothing to hide?
Yeah, but in your thesis, you said you have those PhDs, but you're not giving a reference to what the university is. You're mentioning it, but you're not giving, it's like you're not giving references. You're not giving footnotes.
Okay. Forget him then. Call me Bubba.
Darn, I wanted to find out what it was.
I'm sure you do.
Okay, so sorry, we got off track there.
Well, that was interesting. Anyway. Oh my goodness, look at all those. That's something. So thanks again. Oh, there's one of AJ's debates. That's the most recent one, I believe. I just watched that the other day. Like, actually yesterday, I think. There's another one. But anyway, thank you for watching. Again, a huge shout out to AJ Atheist Jr. Thanks for making this cool little video here. It was it's not a new video by any means. It's a few years old. Yeah. But still very entertaining, and I don't know, just makes it easier to look at Hovind's nonsense without having to go through a whole video of his. So yeah. Thanks again for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and until next time.